Budget watchdogs are criticizing the cost of President Trump's visit to Mar-a-Lago, his private club in Palm Beach, Florida. The president returned to Washington from his so-called winter White House last night. He has been there the past 3 weekends in a row. That's 11 of his first 33 days in office. The travel has an estimated price tag of $10 million. Manuel Bojorquez is outside Mar-a-Lago with the numbers that are quickly piling up. Manuel, good morning.
Good morning. Between the Secret Service and local deputies guarding the estate and the U.S. Coast Guard out in the surrounding waters, Mar-a-Lago is a fortress when the president is here. The White House will not disclose the exact costs of Mr. Trump's visits. That $10 million figure is based on a similar trip by President Obama in 2013.
Air Force One accounts for a big chunk of the presidential travel budget, costing more than $180,000 per hour to operate. That means the roughly 4-hour round-trip flight to his seaside estate costs more than $700,000.
If he's going down there every weekend, the costs are going to add up pretty quickly.
Tom Fitton, president of the watchdog group Judicial Watch, is pressing the administration to release Mr. Trump's travel costs.
He doesn't need to go to Florida every weekend. He can work at the White House or up at Camp David.
Mr. Trump often attacked his predecessor for traveling too often. He once tweeted, "President Barack Obama's vacation is costing taxpayers millions of dollars. Unbelievable." 4 years ago, President Obama's weekend in South Florida cost taxpayers $3.6 million. The Pentagon spent about $2.8 million for Air Force One, plus support aircraft and military personnel. The Secret Service and the Coast Guard added nearly $800,000. During his 8 years in office, Mr. Obama racked up about $97 million in travel costs. President Trump is on pace to eclipse that by the end of his first year. Another cost of keeping President Trump safe: disruptions to businesses near Mar-a-Lago. The airspace around Lantana Airport is restricted whenever the president is in town. On an average day, there are around 300 takeoffs and landings.
But when the president is here, nothing's moving, except the bottom line for businesses that operate out of this airport. They say they lose about $30,000 each weekend they're closed.
Others welcome the presidential visits to Palm Beach. Ed Kazatli owns a boutique in the ritzy Worth Avenue shopping district.
President Trump will bring many more high-end visitors to the community, which is going to definitely help everyone on a high economic scale.
Regardless of who is in office, presidential visits are never cheap. Clearly, the president must be kept safe, but he also travels with a contingent of aides needed to run the government, especially during emergencies. Anthony?
Manuel, thanks.